stop the race to the bottom, and lose the fear of raising your prices. Competing on price is a go-to strategy for so many small business owners. Being the cheap option works in the short term. It could even be a good strategy sometimes, but if we're not careful, we get stuck there. Stuck with low prices, no profits, and entitled customers. I promise, customers will pay more for something they're emotionally connected to, that's convenient, or maybe just gives them some sense of status. So stick around, because at the end of this video, we'll be throwing out the affordability scarcity mindset curse, and I'll show you how raising your prices will get you unstuck with higher profits and customers coming back again and again. That's what I want for you. My name is Ryan Knoll. I'm a business coach, successful entrepreneur, and I save businesses for a living. I've done this a few times, and it always starts the same way. So buckle in, stay until the end, and get ready to start closing deals and growing. When a business comes to me and they get stuck, it usually goes like this. Ryan, I'm stuck. What do I do? We open up the books and the prices are too low. Universally, it comes from the same place, which is the scarcity mindset thing I've been talking about. We can't really fix the problem and really start growing until we get over this. Entrepreneurs are cheap. Believe it or not, we don't like spending money. Penny saved is a penny earned. So we assume our clients feel the same way. Why would I pay more if I can get it for cheaper? This is a natural place to start. We all start here. It makes sense on paper, but it almost never works in practice. Bear with me for a moment. I'm gonna get extra nerdy. Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky pioneered this idea called socioeconomics. This socioeconomics thing is regular economics that assumes people don't make logical buying decisions. A logical buying decision would always be to buy the cheapest thing. But people actually almost never do that. They make emotional buying decisions, not logical ones. They don't go for the cheapest. Being too cheap for many people is a sign that whatever they're buying is a scam or inauthentic or just won't work. Just look at Apple computers. Definitely not the cheapest option. $3 trillion company. Customers actually gravitate towards convenience, exclusivity, aesthetically pleasing, fear of missing out, guaranteed to work right the first time, YOLO, the highest perceived value things, not the cheapest. So just drop the fallacy that they want the cheapest thing. They don't. People who look for the lowest prices tend to be desperate customers. I promise they're out there, sure, but you don't really want to work with them. In my experience, price-sensitive customers are more difficult and needy than customers who just don't care what the thing costs. The real cheat code here is to raise your prices. It's a lot easier to be the best than it is to be the cheapest. Trust me. You just need to raise your prices and do nothing else, and a few things happen. Customers become more emotionally invested. The perceived value of your product is higher because they're paying more for it. The customers that you attract are actually less price sensitive, so they don't ask for additional discounts or refunds and generally just cause less trouble for you. Then you have more margin to attract better talent, offer a higher class product, and all of this compounds into growth. You will start growing just by doing this one thing. So don't do the thing that so many first-time entrepreneurs do. Look at the rest of the market, take the average and go a little bit lower. Like, oh, this is what they're all charging. I'm just gonna undercut them a little bit. Stop that. Look at what the market can bear. Like, what's the maximum and charge that. Like, what can you get away with charging? Not what's the least I can afford to charge. I know you're thinking, but Ryan, if I charge more, my customers are gonna leave me. Fine, let them leave. Business owners take it so freaking personal when customers walk out the door, you have to drop this. I mean, it hurts, right? I get it. No one wants to see a customer leave, but I got two promises for you here. First, your business is going to be a lot more resilient than you think. And second, the customers who leave, and there will be some, aren't the best customers. They never are. Honestly, having the price-sensitive customers walk away is one of the things that makes raising your prices worth it. You make more money for less effort, which allows you to scale. Here's how the math works. Let's say you've got 100 customers. You increase prices by 20%, then 20% of those customers just get up and walk away because they don't like the price hike. In this scenario, you're still making the same amount of money, but you're doing 20% less the effort. That's a little bit overly simplistic. So let's open up this Pandora's box here a bit and add profit into the mix, do a little math and see how it works out. Come get nerdy with me again so I can paint this picture. I promise it's worth it. Hang on for the nerdness. This is the percentage a company can shrink before the profit drops. The horizontal axis is the percent of gross profit or the profit margin. The y-axis here is a percent of sales we can lose before the business makes less money, or how many customers need to leave before it turns into a, whoa, this was a really bad idea situation. Then all those different lines here are the prices, the different price hikes. So we start at 2% and we go up to 15. A 15% price increase would be a pretty dang dramatic, but we're just painting a picture. So if you're running a company with a healthy 20% profit margin, this is a very well-run, sustainable company with a pretty common margin for a lot of industries. So this is not an outrageous idea. And you raise your prices by 10%, which is actually a pretty darn good price jump. You can lose 30% of your customers in this situation and still be making more money than you were before you raise your prices. So even losing 30% in this situation can be a good thing in the long run because the capacity is way up. We have more room to do more work, meaning there's room to grow. We can fill in that vacant capacity with new customers who are willing to pay more. So who wouldn't make that deal? The biggest lesson in looking at this graph here is you can afford to lose a lot more customers than you think and still come out ahead. What are you waiting for? You're out of excuses. Drop the scarcity mindset and raise those damn prices. When we start believing in ourselves and valuing, like really valuing what we're selling, the doors open to charge what we need to charge. Then magical things start happening. The entitled, price-sensitive customers who are always asking for coupons start seeing their way out. Margins start growing. Higher margins allow us to spend more money on marketing to attract more customers and recruit better talent to care for those customers better so they stick around for longer. And it all starts with raising your prices, which starts this amazing flywheel of growth. So I want you to sound off in the comments right now. Are you charging what you're worth, or is it time to raise your prices? Yes or no in the comments. Remember, it starts with throwing out that scarcity mindset, believing in yourself and charging like you're f***ing worth it. Start charging what you're worth today. You'll thank me later, and I'll catch you in the next one.